Hi, I'm Mika Truman, and welcome to my YouTube channel as well as Frankincense School of Mystical Arts. One of the areas that I love to talk about is soulmates. Soulmates can be such a very interesting relationship, very interesting connection. And I use the word interesting because sometimes people think soulmate connection is the person, the one that brings out the best in you, that it is smooth and that it's going to be easy. And sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes, and the beauty of the soulmate connection is that sometimes within your soulmate connection, it is the one that comes into your life that you love so unconditionally, and they love you back, and you have such a significant bond. But sometimes in some areas you don't always see eye to eye, and sometimes you can look at them and wonder, seriously, who are you? And you're with them and you've been together with them for a long time, and sometimes they can come into your life to show you and help you realize the areas that you need to possibly look at. Possibly areas in your life that sometimes we don't even like to see. Perhaps you may realize that they can be the ones that cause you to all of a sudden lose your temper, that you get upset with, and what could possibly learn from that experience. If you have a soulmate connection, that maybe sometimes they challenge you in so many ways, and sometimes they come into your life to teach you patience, to teach you to respect and love people for exactly right where they're at, and have patience and love and understanding. Because soulmate connection are not always the most easiest or the most perfect. But one beautiful thing is that as you go through your relationship with them and you stick it out and you learn and you grow and you love unconditionally, you may find that they are the sweetest and the best relationships that you could have ever picked or had in your life. So these soulmate connections can be so significant in your life. And you can even talk to people who's been married a really super long time, and they'll say, it's not always easy, but their love is so deep and so real and so intense. But it is because they have that soulmate connection that you can have. And sometimes that soulmate connection is right under our nose, and it's in the relationship that we're in. And sometimes taking a step back and kind of gaining a different perspective and looking and viewing at it within the relationship from another viewpoint. Sometimes we think, oh, yeah, okay. And you could see the areas where possibly you could benefit or that you could learn and grow from, because usually this is what the soulmate connection does. And I can pretty much promise you, if they're driving you crazy in some way, you probably are driving them crazy because you're showing them the areas that maybe they need to change about themselves. Because sometimes that is really what happens, is that we see the areas within ourselves that sometimes is not our best side or our greatest. But once you deal with it, once you work through it and move through it, you may find that you have grown so much from that relationship, and it's sweeter than ever. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have any more bumps, because I think within every relationship we have bumps. But you may find that when you run into these bumps, we easily move through them and they become less and less of a deal because of the way that you deal with them and the way that you handle them. So I totally love the soulmate connection. And I challenge you to kind of sit back and look at your soulmate connections that you have and the ones that you have had. Because sometimes it can really change the way that we are and change the way that we look at the relationships that do cross our paths. So until next time, jump over to fsma.life and check out our video courses on how you too can be psychic. And also, don't forget to book your reading. I would love to connect with you. And until next time, blessings to you, and we will chat then.